G'day battlers, and today we're doing some Rose Cup battles, almost said fusion, up against Dr. Trotter, who is another Australian YouTuber, so I'll link to his channel in the description below, and then later on we're battling MKBLKN. Now we had a pretty bad matchup with Machamp vs Haunter, so he switched out into Steelix, which is a much better matchup. He brings in the Probopass. Now in the one shield matchup, we should win this matchup because we're going to be able to get to the Earthquake, but that does do the PV poke thing of, you throw the crunch, they shield the crunch, you throw the Earthquake, you land the Earthquake. So we do actually land that Earthquake, so I don't know if whether he was just leaving his Probopass go down because he knew he wasn't in a great matchup anyway, or if he was expecting the shield bait. He actually brings in Skarmory, which, I guess he didn't have any good counters against Steelix. He's going to be able to do some damage with the Shadow Ball from the Haunter for sure, but we do still have our shields. We'll let the Flash Cannon come through on the Skarmory though, hoping it was a Sky Attack, but it was not. Doesn't really matter though, because we're still going to be able to get this Crunch off. Throw the Crunch, just kind of chipping away at the Skarmory, hoping to get another Crunch off, which we are able to do. And kind of expecting to see a shield come up. Actually no, letting the Skarmory go down. Actually, it was still one quick move off, so I don't know where he was at for energy, but Haunter comes in, and just because the Shadow Claws from Haunter do so much damage because of its just raw attack, it is able to farm down that Steelix. I say farm, but it wasn't that much. We bring in the Machamp to take the Shadow Punch, eat some of that Haunter's energy, and then switch into Alolan Marowak, hoping to be able to take down someone. We do have Fire Spin instead of Hex, so we aren't doing super effective damage with the quick move. We shield up the first charge move, and we've QSA'd the Bone Club here, so if you don't know what QSAing is, just type it into YouTube, there'll be plenty of videos. But we shield up the second Shadow Punch, getting off this Bone Club off onto the Haunter. We'll see if he does burn his last shield here. Does burn the last shield, so keeping his Haunter around. We actually got to the Bone Club and we were kind of rampantly tapping on it just to maybe do something, but one more Fire Spin and we were able to take down the Haunter. So GG's. Haunter, definitely a squishy Pokemon, but does so much raw damage. Now we have Rhydon vs Skuntank, which is a pretty good matchup for us, I think, because we've got Mud Slap, which is going to be doing super effective damage, and then it switches into Medicham, which is not a good matchup at all, so switching out into Sableye, a very hard counter to Medicham, so kind of going with luck of the lead here. Throws the Ice Punch, it's not going to do too much damage. Wondering what his other move is, probably Dynamic Punch, because Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch is the main moveset to go on your Medicham, but just keep throwing the Ice Punches, actually bringing down the Sableye quite a bit. So I think one possible play would be to shield up that foul play, maybe try and get another Ice Punch off, force a shield, but just lets it go down, brings in the Clefable, still holding on to all shields. We don't really have a great answer here. Rhydon, we obviously kind of wanted to keep for the Skuntank. Alolan Marowak isn't going to do great up against the Skuntank, although we will have super effective Bone Clubs. But we have to worry about a Crunch from Skuntank, and he does bring in the Skuntank as we're throwing this Bone Club, so this will do super effective damage to the Skuntank. Not heaps though, just because Bone Club isn't a great move. And then we CMP tie for this next charge move, so we've still got two shields, so shield up the Crunch, throw the Bone Club. It won't finish off the Skuntank, I don't think, because again, just not a great move. Doesn't take him out, and he might be able to get to another Crunch before we can farm him down. Yeah, doesn't get to another Crunch, so I think we're just going to let the charge move go through. We had a little bit of energy on the Alolan Marowak, but we're just like, oh well, bring in Rhydon, he can bring the heat, and then charge it for another Surf, hope that he does a slightly better job up against Clefable. When we do get the Surf off, there's no more shield, so it will go through. Unfortunately, it's not doing heaps of damage, and the boom, simultaneous KO. We did actually go down to the shield there, so I'm wondering if maybe if we did shield up the charge move that was heading Alolan Marowak's way, maybe we could have won that matchup out, but we have a bad matchup with Alolan Graveler versus Steelix. We switched into Probopass, which would still be a good matchup for the Probopass, but because he's got the opportunity, he switches out into Medicham, who's going to have an absolute ball up against Probopass, especially because we're just doing Spark, quick moves, not doing so much damage. We are getting another Rock Slide off though, which will do a little bit of chip damage, I guess. Not very effective. We probably should have gone for Thunderbolt. But oh well, you live and you learn. I was actually kind of expecting a shield maybe, but it doesn't really matter either way. We're bringing the Alolan Marowak, knowing that whatever he's going to throw here, it's not going to do much. It is another Ice Punch, so expecting, actually, oh no, going just probably another Ice Punch, just because it's kind of quick charging. and I think it's better than Dynamic Punch up against Alolan Marowak, and we switch at the same time, and now we have Alolan Graveler versus the shiny Sableye. I don't think this is a fantastic situation for us because Foul Play does that much damage, which is not great at all. And then we're going for the Rock Throw, I think Rock Blast? Rock Blast. And he does shield up, so we still have 2 shields, but we're down to our last Pokemon here, so we're really going to have to use them. And here's a perfect opportunity where we would want to use the shields up against Sableye. Going for the super effective Foul Plays, we go straight for the Bone Club, hoping to maybe finish off the Sableye before he can burn our second shield. But it does, which is, oh no it doesn't, but we do take him out before another Foul Play comes through. And then in comes Steelix, who doesn't really want to be, actually, okay, he brought in the Steelix, then switched to Medicham. You could still tell by the name up in the top right corner, sometimes that does happen. But I guess he was trying to burn the energy from the Alolan Marowak, but just gave us a little bit more energy. We've got 1 shield apiece here, and it kind of looks like he's getting in a pretty good spot. Gets the crunch off. We do have a lot of energy, but even if we go for the Shadow Ball, hoping that he doesn't shield, think it's just a Bone Club, but even Bone Club would be super effective, so there's not much reason not to shield. Just kind of remembering from Sinister that landing that Shadow Ball was very nice in the Marowak vs Steelix matchup. Unfortunately, not able to take it. Steelix does take us down, so GG's, thanks for the battles. Don't forget to check out Dr. Trotter after this video. I'll have it linked at the end of the video too. Now going up against our second opponent of the video, MKBLKN, with a terrible lead matchup of Skarmory vs Alolan Marowak. We have to get out of there straight away, and unfortunately we do not have a good Alolan Marowak counter at all. So we just bring in the Machamp, and going for the Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam actually wouldn't have done much to Alolan Marowak either, so we were kind of in a bit of a pickle, to say the least. But we're going to go for the Cross Chop up against the Skarmory, hoping to either burn the other shield or do some nice damage to the Skarmory. And we have burned both shields, which is definitely an advantage we're going to need to deal with that Alolan Marowak from before, because now we have Skarmory and Medicham, neither of which would be good up against that Alolan Marowak. Now we bring in the Skarmory here, hoping to be able to, I guess, take the charge move, keep the shields for later on. And we do eat 1 Sky Attack, bring in the Medicham to farm up some energy on the Skarmory. He gets another Sky Attack off though, so we shield up here, knowing that we're going to be able to get at least a Power Up Punch off. Power Up Punch is going to power us up for a bit later. Kind of looks like we got an extra quick move in after the Power Up Punch was charged up, which obviously the more quick moves that you're doing after Power Up Punch, the better, because see, like, he has a sliver of health there, and if we got the Power Up Punch 1 turn earlier, maybe he would have gone down, not got that charge move off. But he brings in the Blaziken, and we just go for another Power Up Punch, hoping to boost ourselves a little bit more, maybe burn a shield in the process. No shield, unfortunately. Actually, he doesn't have any shields. Never mind, I remember. I promise I'm paying attention. Now we switch into Skarmory, tanking this charge move, but I don't think that was a great play, because he was obviously throwing it at the Medicham. We would have had a Sky Attack to go onto the Alolan Marowak, and now we've pretty much got no play up against this Alolan Marowak. So definitely a poor play on our part. Definitely should have just stayed in with the Medicham, hope that he would have finished us off, maybe have Skarmory come in, hope to finish off the Blaziken, and then get Sky Attacks onto the Alolan Marowak. But nonetheless, we have Rhydon versus Golbat, and this is actually a good matchup for Rhydon. Rhydon does win the 1 shield, and then he switches into Steelix. Steelix gonna not enjoy these serves, whatever it is, Steelix does not like it. And he also doesn't actually like the Mud Slaps coming from the quick move, so we successfully shield off the Earthquake, which is fantastic. And then gonna go for actually farming down. No, we do QSA the Surf by the looks of it, hoping that this is just a crunch. Do shield at the last second, and it was a crunch, which actually, I'm not sure if it would finish us off. I'm not sure how much damage crunch does to Rhydon, but we take out the Steelix with 1 more Surf. He's keeping his shield, brings back in the Golbat, and I'm pretty sure the matchup is close enough that Golbat would be able to finish us off here, even if it was the 1 shield matchup. Does burn his last shield, and then we bring in Golbat for the mirror match. He switches into Alolan Marowak, which was probably a poor move. I think if he stayed into Golbat, got the Shadow Ball off onto our Golbat, we wouldn't be able to get that Shadow Ball onto the Alolan Marowak, because now we're pretty much almost, that Alolan Marowak is almost gone, to say the least. And then he gets a Bone Club off, accidentally tapped on the thingy there, but he brings back in the Golbat, gonna get the Shadow Ball off now, I assume? Yeah, gets the Shadow Ball off. He is in a pretty good spot here, but we do still have Sableye, who has not seen battle yet. So we're going to be able to get straight to the Power Gem. Power Gem going to do plenty of damage to that Golbat. I think it was just when I said before about being in a good situation, I meant like up against Rhydon. But yeah, Sableye with this Power Gem, it's pretty much GG's for the poor Golbat. I don't know if it finishes it off. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Okay, goodbye Golbat. My condolences. But moving on to the last battle of the video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. But going to the last battle, we've got Machamp up against Blaziken, and to be honest, I'm actually not sure how this battle goes. I would imagine that it's probably better for Machamp, especially if he has Rock Slide, but it actually looks like we're going to be able to counter down the Blaziken. Hopefully we don't have to burn a second shield. We do not have to burn a second shield, and we're going to be able to get this energy off onto the next Pokemon, which is a Skarmory. So going straight for the Cross Chop, hoping to maybe get a back-to-back Cross Drop in, and we luckily are able to do that. There was just a messenger notification down the bottom, that's why that white box is there, so sorry about that. But we get the Cross Drop off. Actually, there is another messenger notification coming pretty soon, but I forgot to turn messenger off. Basically, there it is. Yeah, it'll go away. Now it's gone. No more messenger for the rest of the video, I promise. But now we get the Crunch off onto the Skarmory. Onto the Alolan Marowak, sorry, which would do that super focus damage. So we've burnt all of his shields now. He's getting the charge move off here, so we're gonna let it come through. I don't think it's gonna finish off the Steelix by any means, if it was a Shadow Ball. So this Crunch will do plenty of super effective damage to that Alolan Marowak. Hoping to be able to get to another Crunch before he got a charge move, but unfortunately no such luck. He had plenty of energy stored up. So we shield up the Bone Club, hoping that now we can get to a Crunch before he gets the Bone Club and he takes us out. No Crunch, this is not looking great, but we do have Probopass. Probopass in a pretty okay spot. Bone Club will definitely hurt. But he actually goes for the Shadow Ball. I'm wondering, probably a play that I have to look into a little bit more, whether like you'd want more Bone Clubs going off. But we get this Thunderbolt off onto the Skarmory, does plenty of damage, and we're just hoping that he doesn't miraculously take us out. Even if this is a Flash Cannon, I don't think it would finish us off, but it is just a Sky Attack, so yeah, we do have this game on lock. We go for the Rock Slide just to make sure we don't get pummeled in any fancy way, but thank you MKBLKN, Makabligan, for the battles, and to Dr. Trotter. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks to my patrons. Militime 9458 brajSF and NegativeBen10 and NotRandyN3wman. Okay, bye.